So your boat has some beautiful teak on it. Well, it might be beautiful if it wasn't quite so gray and tired looking. So what's the best way to deal with it? Listen in and you'll find out. Hi, I'm Nika Waters and welcome to the Boat Galley podcast. Today I'm sharing a wonderful conversation that I had with Deb Meyer, one of the people behind All Guard products, Teak Guard products. Listen in and see what you learn. Good morning. I am here with Deb from Teak Guard products, and I'm so excited to be talking to you today. I know Carolyn's in the process of just doing a maintenance coat on her teak. She's so excited about your product and what she's used on there. So will you just say hi and tell us a little bit about you?
I sure will. Thanks so much for having me this morning, Nika. I am Deb Meyer. I'm actually the wife of the owners of Teak Guard products, and actually in Cincinnati, Ohio. Not a lot of boating opportunities here, but there are some lakes. My husband used to have a boat before we met, and I always liked to be on other people's boats before we met. I spent my 30th birthday on a beautiful sailboat. I didn't notice a thing about the changing of age. So kind of when we got offered an opportunity to buy this Teak Guard business, a friend of my husband's, Marty, he actually invented it, recreated the product because he was a teak lover. He had probably created it 40 years ago.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So we've had the business for 20, but he was diagnosed with cancer and had like 4 or 5 weeks to live. He kind of wasn't paying attention, I guess. So needed to sell it pretty quick. We had just created a business ourselves about 2 years earlier, a mail order business for odor elimination products. Huh. And yes, if you have a stinky head on your boat, we have products for that. It's called Magic. And you can check it out at odorexit.com. So they just kind of fit well together. They were both mail order products. That made us kind of decide it was a good decision to buy his business. And they're both in the same warehouse, using a lot of the same supplies. Obviously, the products are totally different. But it just kind of worked out, and we've been learning the nuances and use the products ourselves on furniture, on people's boats and the swim platforms, wherever there's teak. And it's just, we've found that we can make a labor of love and with a beautiful finish because it just makes your teak pop. It's different than the other stuff out there, and really safe, water-based, safe for the environment, safe to breathe it. And that's kind of how the business got started.
Wow. So it was not started specifically as a boat product, but specifically as a teak product. And then obviously boaters are a fantastic market because those of us that have teak on our boats, yep, we like it to look good, but we sure don't want to spend forever cleaning it and fixing it up and all the rest of it.
Exactly right. This was something that really made it pop and the finish smooth and that golden luster that teak wood should be.
And when it is that color and that beautiful hue, is it protecting the wood or is it just making it look pretty?
Absolutely, it's protecting the wood. It has a UV finish in there, so our logo's always been never chip, peel, or fade.
So I've got teak on my boat that is gray, or maybe it has some old varnish or old oil on it. Talk me through the process of using Teak Guard for dealing with my teak.
The biggest labor is getting off the old finish. But once you do that, Teak Guard has a super cleaner, we call it, that is, you just kind of apply it. You let it sit there. It will eat through the mold and stuff. And I say eat, but it's not going to damage the wood. And you let it sit there for a little bit, and then you take a bronze wool and brushes and clean that all off. And you want to use and we have a kit that has all the supplies in there. So one-stop shop, and it will clean off all of the resin, the teak resin that you loosen, the mold, the gook that teak collects that makes it kind of turn the gray, gets rid of all of that. You rinse it, and even before it's dry, you can put your first coat of the Teak Guard finish on there. And you got to do it really quickly, because if you let it sit after cleaning it, even a day or even a couple hours, it has an opportunity for the mold spores in the air to light back on the teak wood and start to create that mold. So you've got to get that first coat on quickly to stop that from happening.
And you really can do that without it being dry. So if the teak is wet after you've done your cleaner and you rinse it off, you said you can put it on even before it's dry. So it somehow manages to attach itself to the teak even with water there?
Yes, because the Teak Guard is actually water-based.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's just like whatever is in the Teak Guard. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So it works in combination with the Teak Guard, and you've got your first coat on. So you can put a second coat on, 10, 20 minutes later, and then let that sit and cure for 24 hours before you put additional coats on. We recommend 4. Some people like 5 for a darker color, but 4 is kind of the recommended amount.
So it sounds like you clean it and you rinse it, you put on a first coat, you can put a second coat on within 10 or 20 minutes, and then you let that cure for 24 hours before you add at least 2 more coats.
Right.
Okay. And then a year later, you've been cleaning your teak, wiping it down with water, whatever. And then a year later, how many maintenance coats should I put on every year?
1 to 2, because you are brightening the color as well.
Okay. So it's adding the protection back and brightening the color.
Correct.
Okay. Wow. Great. Do you have a preferred, is there a better kind of a brush to use when you're applying it?
It's a foam brush.
Okay.
Just a simple foam brush. It just puts it on in an even coat. You obviously want to go with the grain.
Yep. It sounds like this is a project that's best done either if you have a water maker or you have access to a plentiful supply of fresh water when you're dealing with the cleaning of it, particularly the first time around.
Yes,
the super cleaner. Okay.
You're right.
So what is your favorite part of the business? And it sounds like it's a multifaceted business. You've got Teak Guard, and then you also have Odor Exit, and is Magic is part of Odor Exit?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a water and essential oils product that absorbs odors.
Nice.
You can just pour it in the head, and it will keep that odor down as you're using it until you empty the container at some point. 3-4 months.
Okay. So what is your favorite part of the mail order business in general, and Teak Guard and Odor Exit, the whole thing? What's your favorite part of the business?
Well, for Teak Guard, it's the before and after pictures. So I wanted to be sure that you send us some before and after pictures, because we like to post those.
Absolutely.
And it's just, the difference is just astounding. But obviously the success stories of our customers is what keeps us working and doing both of these businesses. Just both the products work. They do what they say they're going to do. To have your customer call up and go, oh, you're right, it did do that.
Cool.
That's the exciting part for both of them.
So what's a question that you get asked a lot about Teak Guard?
Is how hard is it? And sometimes when people have the varnish on there, I can't say it's easy. The hard part is getting rid of the other finish that has allowed your teak to turn gray. That's got to go, because the Teak Guard has to attach totally to the teak wood.
Yep.
for it to adhere for a year, to not let the mold, the gray come back. So how easy is it? And it's easy once you get rid of the other stuff. We like to call your mistakes.
That's true. Do you have any recommendations for people on how to remove old finish in the least painful way?
Actually, we do. Blue Bear is a product we recommend. It is soy based.
Okay.
And it is a remover,
So is it a stripper of some kind?
yeah, it's a stripper, and it's safe for the environment. It's safer for your hands, safer to breathe, because
Okay.
it is soy based. But that is the one we recommend. It depends on what your finish is you're trying to remove
Mm-hmm.
as to which one you need. They have different ones. So we recommend calling the company to find out exactly what you need. But that is the best finish remover we've found.
Okay. Spell that for me.
BLUEBEAR.
Okay, so it's not, it's Blue Bear, like the animal, then the color and the animal.
Yes, Blue Bear.
Okay. Like if you were going to say to people who had never heard of Teak Guard, what's one big takeaway that you wish people would have about Teak Guard?
How easy it really is.
Once you've taken the other stuff off.
Yes, once you take the other stuff off.
Is some of that just that it's fairly easy to apply, in that it's not nitpicky around particularly the first two coats, that you don't have to worry so much about it being bone dry, that you clean it and then you put the first couple coats on, then you wait 24 hours. And then after you get the third coat on, so you put your two on, you wait 24 hours, you put a coat on. Do you wait another 24 hours between coats, or can you put a fourth coat on top pretty quickly?
You can put the fourth coat on pretty quickly.
Okay, so those first two, you're just sort of hardening it and letting it really, really soak in and be there before you add the next layer. So it's not, because a lot of finishes, you need to let them dry for 6 to 12, 24 hours in between each coat, and they want you to put 8 or 10 coats on. And so is part of the ease that it just doesn't take as much time because you don't need as many coats on initially?
Right. And yes, and not having to wait so long in between coats. The product can't freeze. If the finish freezes, it's no good.
Okay.
So it needs to look like chocolate milk.
Okay.
Don't drink it, but it needs to look like chocolate milk.
Okay.
And shake it often.
Okay.
Because some of the ingredients, the ultraviolet particles, will filter out in the bottom, and you'll see that. So shake it often and just allow it to dry, 10, 20 minutes between that third and fourth coat.
Okay.
As well as the first and second.
Okay. And when you say don't let it freeze, I'm assuming that means if you buy the product, don't store it where it's going to freeze.
Correct.
But it's okay. It's fine once you've applied it to the wood, though, right? If your boat happens to be in freezing temperatures and what have you.
Yeah, and you don't want to apply it in freezing temperatures. I mean, it should be above 40.
Don't apply it really in under 40 degrees Fahrenheit for anybody who's listening who's not in the States. And then what's the top range in terms of how hot? Is there a top range in terms of how hot it shouldn't be?
Oh, not particularly. Probably over 90, over 100.
Okay.
Not really a top range.
Where can people go to find out some more about AllGuard? Is there a coupon that they can use? Do you have any specials that are running right now, particularly for our wonderful listeners?
Well, we do. We have a coupon code for BG20, Boat Galley 20, which is 20 is actually for the year. And so it's 15% off of anything that you purchase on our site. So the kits, the individual products, if you need additional for your yearly freshener, BG20 is a discount for 15% off. And you can go to allguardproducts.com and can give you the instructions are there. The products are all there, and we'd love to have you send us before and after pictures too, if you're listening. And that would be deb@allguardproducts.com, and we'll get those posted. So
thanks very much. Do you have any other words of wisdom or pieces of advice for our listeners who are now champing at the bit to get their boats all beautiful for the 2021 sailing season, which maybe looks a little more open than the 2020 boating season?
your lips to God's ears.
Yeah. No
Well,
kidding.
check out allguardproducts.com. Make a labor of love end with a beautiful finish.
That sounds like a very fantastic way to end up this podcast. Thanks, Deb, for giving us some background on who you are and how you came to be doing the business, and the passion that you have for having people be able to have beautiful wood on their boats and outdoor furniture and other places too. Definitely comes through. It sounds like you're a wealth of information and a great resource for lots of people. So I hope that everybody goes to check out allguardproducts.com and gets you those before and after pictures.
I look forward to it. Thank you for your time, Nika. You have
Thanks
a great
a lot,
day.
Deb. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Deb, for all the tips and tricks and ideas on how to keep your teak looking beautiful. Thank you, listeners, for listening to the Boat Galley podcast. We come your way twice a week, every week, with tips, tricks, reviews, and how-tos for your boating lifestyle. Talk to you soon.